So to the biggest news, I suppose, of the weekend, where the African National Congress NEC members are locked in a weekend-long meeting in Nasrec, south of Johannesburg. The party is meeting just weeks before the 55th National Congress. Some of the heated issues expected to be top the agenda include President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala theft. ANC NEC members Nomvula Mkonyane claims the party is at its weakest state. Members are also presenting the party's organisational report. Now let's get more on this and analysis on this. Of course, I am joined by political analyst Dr. Oscar van Heerden. Dr. van Heerden, thank you for joining us at eNCA. But I guess the contentious issue is around the Phala Phala saga. Given that today the integrity report was supposed to be tabled, we hear that, of course, it's dividing the committee itself. Just how damaging is this report to the African National Congress and the president heading to the elective conference?
Well, it is rather unfortunate, Aviwe, because the chairperson, George Mashamba, informed the NEC that indeed it could not conclude on the issue of Phala Phala because it was unable to interrogate the key principle in the matter, which is, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa indicated that he is most willing to fully cooperate. However, apparently the public protector, acting public protector, has barred him from saying anything on the matter to anyone. And so the matter could not come to some conclusion. And I think that's most unfortunate, especially for not only the NEC, but general membership of the ANC and, of course, the people of South Africa.
And we do understand that the members of the NEC there, of course, as divided as they are, some of them are calling for the head of the president to roll. Is that the platform? It's their last NEC meeting headed to that elective conference. Is that the right call for the president's head to fall?
Well, you would agree with me, Aviwe, that there was the opportunity of all these fractions within the ANC to voice their issues and concerns at the policy conference, as you know, was held not so long ago. This NEC is the last platform where all of them are in the same room. And of course, they are going to want to score political points. Those that are calling for the president's head, I think we can all imagine who they are. It's people who are already affected by the step-aside rule. The problem is that the step-aside rule for most is after people have been charged by the National Prosecuting Authority. And in the case of Ramaphosa, that is not the case. So, they are giving that final push, wanting to cast serious aspersions on the president as we go to the national conference.
And of course, we've heard a number of issues coming out even on the sidelines. Nomvula Mkonyane, one of those that were vocal in saying that this NEC is the weakest that the party has ever had. Should this be taken seriously? She, of course, we do understand, is serving for the second term now in the NEC. Does she have a leg to stand on?
She is an NEC member, but I don't think that her comments is genuine. I think it's disingenuous. I don't think it is true. The previous NEC, under the auspices of President Zuma, was quite frankly responsible for state capture. So I think it's a very, very disingenuous statement by Mkonyane, and it's simply not true.
And then, Doctor, of course, we're just over a month away to the 16th of December where the elective conference is taking place. In your opinion, who are the real contenders there? And maybe more importantly, this conference itself will be an important one in the type of leadership it elects, given that we've seen the number of names that are coming through. They seem to be the tried and tested names that have had positions previously in the ANC for the last 28 or so years, with not much change that we're seeing in the economy. How crucial is this conference for the African National Congress and the leadership it elects going forward?
It's absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. You know, the ANC comes out of a local government election in 2016 as deflated, losing massive support. The electorate has voted with their feet, and the ANC knows that it's on a back foot. It goes into this conference knowing very well that the people are watching, they are preparing, and the only way the people are going to be able to express themselves as to whether they agree with the outcomes of this conference is in 2024. And the ANC knows, they very much know, that if they don't elect ethical, proper, accountable leaders in this NEC and in this leadership, they are going to actually, people are going to vote with their feet in 2024. So it is absolutely critical. I think that my prediction would be that neither camp is going to win outright. I think that we are likely to end up with the Ramaphosa presidency, but a heavy dose of RET types within the NEC wanting to direct the agenda. And yet again, we are going to find ourselves in another 5 years where the president will have to be playing clever footwork in order to actually make sure that we take the country forward.
And the much talked about renewal that is clearly needed in the African National Congress. Will we see it maybe possibly emerge out of this conference? And of course, the generational mix that's needed, given what we're seeing in the other political parties where it seems like they're given chances to the much younger generation to take executive positions, for example. Will the ANC have that generational mix to lead the party going to the 2024 elections?
It seems as if the ANC is not there yet. It is very unfortunate. When we look at these lists going around, when we look at people who are still contesting for chairperson, for president, these are gerontocracies. These are old people, over 65, 70 years old. There's no talk of a younger generation that's coming through within the top six. There might be a few in the NEC. We are yet to see, but at the moment, there is no indication that the ANC is wanting to make sure that we have a youthful leadership, that we have a young leadership that is actually going to bring some of the apolitical youngsters of our generation into politics and interested in voting.
Dr. van Heerden, thank you very much for your time. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on the developments and the African National Congress's NEC meeting taking place in Soweto. I myself will be there, of course, as they wrap up their final day tomorrow, with the president expected to give the closing remarks later on in the afternoon. Political analyst Dr. Oscar van Heerden.